And we are back irrigating. Yay! It's cooled down a little bit, but there's no breeze out here and a lot of humidity. But it still feels wonderful for the state of Nebraska. All right, major update to this pivot. We eliminated the big white box that you guys have seen. I have a couple still on some other wells that you've seen out at this pivot, Mary Jane's. It blew up. So we went ahead, and we're not gonna get a new box, a new VRD box until December. So we're gonna quickly just go back. We had one of these on hand. We got it wired up that we can, so instead of variable speed, it'll just be instant power for the well, which will be okay. So you can see where power came in from the road. It's buried into here, into the fuses, and then it runs over here into this box. Now, the problem is the well fired up and the pivot started going, but it's out of phase. The reason I know that, so it's always a guess. You have a 50-50 chance of getting it in phase or out of phase. And if you look down the line here, you can see this tower is running forward, but the next tower is running in reverse. So when I try to run it forward, they go opposite of each other instead of every tower moving the same direction. So it's really a pretty easy fix. All I need to do in this phasing system is, on top of these fuses, is just switch one of those two wires. So I'm going to switch the red and the blue, and then that should work, right? If I remember correctly. We'll see what happens. All right, so having a few issues with the pivot. The first and second towers lined up really pretty good, but it won't stay running forward or reverse. So I'm going to come to the other end of the field where the swing arm is and try to determine if the swing arm is out of alignment with the last tower. Ooh, I see airplanes. They're still spraying. So yeah, this will just take a little bit to walk all the way out here. Careful of rolling an ankle. This embankment is really steep, close to the edge of the corn and everything else. Nice night for a walk though. Not too far away. Pivot is right there. All right. Out. Okay. Go ahead. So I was just driving here, and then I just went whoop. Plus I had heavy center of gravity. Now it should be fine. Now you can help me irrigate. It was a trap. Good morning. Welcome back to Nebraska. My name is Cale Carlson. Why do you guys keep coming back to my channel and showing up? It's because it's a beautiful day in Nebraska, or is it because it's Turbo Tuesday? Welcome to day 2 of irrigating, or day 32, 332. Who knows anymore at this point. So it's a lot cooler this morning, so let's get everything done that we can. Start 2 pivots, and then we'll go back and fix the studs in that tire. Really pretty easy to run this pivot. All you have to do is go to stop, start, dry, and then come over here to this motor. Make sure your battery is hooked up. It is. Check on your brand new alternator and serpentine. Is it serpentine or serpentine? Serpentine belt? Serpentine belt. Check these belts. They're old. Oil looks good. Oil looks, oh, not good. We have a little bit of room there. Let's, where's my oil? Aha. There's the oil, but doesn't look like there is enough oil. All right, added the oil. We are topped off on the dipstick. We're gonna fire this up. So I'm leaving the throttle engaged, and not full throttle, but it's throttled up to where the PTO needs to be to run the water, and the generator for 480 volts for this 3-phase pivot, and I'm leaving the PTO engaged. So all I need to do is just start it over here and everything should fire up correctly. Oh, come on, how do you... Oh, this is... Irrigation vehicle. I just grab a car, whatever car is closest and has keys in it. 480 volts, running forward. Start. Running wet. Stop and slot is off. Run. Pollinated corn. All right, now we're up at the ranch and going to start this pivot. And we need to mow up here. Does anybody have a lawnmower? Bush hog, tree trimmer. Last time we ran this engine is when we wanted to get the pivot was over the grass. We wanted to get it off the grass so we could bale, which we already did. So I'm gonna fire this up, start the pivot running this way, and then auto reverse backwards. This is my non-GMO white corn up here, and it looks delicious, looks beautiful, looks great. Super excited about this crop. This field has missed all of the wind, hail, and has caught some of the good rain. So stay tuned for this harvest on this field. This should be really pretty good stuff. Stopped by the drip field to check to make sure that there's 2 submersible wells that run this drip system field. And I just want to make sure they both came on automatically. They are set on electricity power, and Southern Power can control them when they need more power in the daytime to run air conditioners and the electrical grid in south central Nebraska. Anyway, they came back on about 11 o'clock. I'm just making sure they both came back on, and then I go ahead and manually flush these water tanks. There is sand and gravel packed inside these canisters, and they collect grit and whatever else, and I flush them, rinse the tanks out so that water and pressure can go back in the entire drip system. It keeps my drip tape clean. So they're set up automatically to flush, but I like to manually flush them every once in a while just to make sure we get a clean water system going underground to protect myself from future issues. Richie, what's going on right now? What are we doing?
I honestly don't know, but we're mowing down a lot of corn stalks, so.
Trust me. Looks like somebody's been here before. That was me, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll show. Okay, here we are to the pivot and another trail. Yeah, just trust me. Good morning. Welcome back to not irrigating. Good job, Richie, on the extension cord. Construction has resumed at the bin site. A lot easier way to knock out the concrete. Probably. So we'll get that busted out because we're doing, if you guys are putting in 5x5x5 footings for a new overhead bin. Oh look, I found more electricity. Man, this stuff is not buried very deep, and I've got wires and rebar crossing all over creation. We might have to knock more of this concrete out, but I got a guy coming tomorrow morning to tell me size and shape of footings plus rebar. I think we can locate some rebar and get it here to build cages for footings, and once again, I'm not sure how deep that is or how deep to go. As always, you got to make a bigger mess before there's a less mess, so we can fix something. All right, that's my electrician. I got to take this phone call.